I'm recording this because if I don't, Clinton Road will finish what it started. People talk about haunted roads like they're campfire stories, like you drive down them, feel a chill, see something weird, and go home. That's not how Clinton Road works. Clinton Road watches you first, and if it decides you're paying attention, it doesn't let you leave the same way you arrived. I grew up in New Jersey, about 40 minutes from the stretch everyone warns you about. Clinton Road isn't long, just over 10 miles, winding through woods so dense they swallow sound. No streetlights for most of it, no sidewalks, no houses for long stretches, just trees pressed so close together they feel intentional, like they're leaning in to listen. I'd heard the stories my whole life. Ghost children asking for coins, phantom headlights, cars that follow you without ever catching up, the bridge where kids dare you to throw coins into the creek, because if you don't, something throws them back. I didn't believe any of it. That's important to understand. I was the kind of person who needed proof, the kind who thought fear was just pattern-seeking mixed with darkness and boredom. So, when I finally drove Clinton Road for the first time, it wasn't curiosity, it was arrogance. It was late fall, not quite winter, but cold enough that the air hurt to breathe. Around 11:40 p.m., no moon, overcast, the kind of night where your headlights feel weak, like they're being absorbed instead of reflected. The moment I turned onto Clinton Road, my radio cut to static, not gradually, not fading. 1 second music, the next pure white noise. I tapped the dash, adjusted the knob, changed stations, nothing, just static. That should have been the first warning. But I laughed it off, told myself the trees were blocking the signal. That laughter died less than a minute later because the woods got quiet. Not peaceful quiet, not nighttime quiet. The kind of quiet where you realize you can hear your own breathing too clearly, where even the sound of your tires on asphalt feels loud and invasive. Then I saw someone standing on the side of the road. No reflective gear, no phone, just a figure near the tree line, facing away from me, too still, too close to the woods. I slowed down instinctively. As my headlights reached them, they stepped back into the trees. No sound, no branches snapping, just gone. That was when I noticed something I hadn't before. There were no insects, no crickets, no wind in the leaves, nothing reacting to my presence. I kept driving. About 5 minutes in, I reached the bridge everyone talks about. Narrow, old, rusted railings, water moving beneath it so slowly it looks like black glass. I stopped. I don't know why. Maybe because every story says not to. Maybe because I wanted to prove something to myself. I reached into my cup holder and pulled out a handful of change, quarters, nickels, pennies. I leaned out the window and tossed them over the side. They hit the water. I waited. Nothing happened. I smiled, feeling stupid for ever being nervous. Then something hit the side of my car. Not thrown, dropped. A metallic clink rolled across my roof and down the windshield. A quarter slid to a stop against my wiper blade. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Then another coin hit, and another, not splashing from below, landing from above. I slammed the gas. The car surged forward, tires screeching against the bridge as I tore off down the road. Coins kept hitting the roof for several seconds, like someone running alongside me just out of sight. When it finally stopped, I didn't slow down. I told myself someone was messing with me. A prank, a stupid local tradition taken too far. That explanation held for exactly 3 minutes. That's when I noticed the headlights behind me. They were far back, too far to be a car that had been following me normally. Just a pair of dim lights hovering at the edge of visibility. I sped up. They didn't get closer. I slowed down. They didn't fall back. They matched me perfectly. I turned off my headlights. They stayed on. I turned mine back on. They flickered. And when they flickered, I saw something I still can't explain. There was no car body, just headlights, floating at windshield height. I took the first side road I saw without thinking. Hard right turn, gravel spraying. The headlights stayed on Clinton Road. I didn't stop until I reached a gas station 10 minutes later. I sat there shaking, convincing myself I'd imagined it. For a while that worked, until I noticed the quarter still stuck under my wiper. I didn't go back for months, and when I did, I brought someone with me. His name was Mark, skeptic like me. Worse, actually. He'd heard the stories too and thought they were hilarious. He wanted to drive the road at exactly midnight. We entered just before 12. The radio cut out again. Mark laughed, told me to relax. Then he stopped laughing, because the trees were closer. Not physically closer, but they felt closer. Like the road had narrowed. Like the darkness had weight. Halfway down, we passed a car parked on the shoulder. Hazard lights blinking. Driver's door open. No one inside. Mark slowed. I told him not to stop. He did anyway. We got out. The air felt wrong. Thick. Cold in a way that wasn't temperature. We called out. No response. Then Mark froze. He pointed at the road behind us. There were footprints. Bare footprints. Leading from the woods to our car. but none leading away. We got back in and drove. The footprints ended exactly where our tires had been. Mark didn't joke anymore after that. Neither of us noticed the time passing. The road just kept going. The curves repeated. The bridge appeared again. We hadn't turned around. Mark checked his phone. No signal, no time, just a black screen. Then the knocking started. 3 slow taps. From the trunk. We didn't stop. The knocking followed us for miles. When it finally stopped, Mark whispered something I'll never forget. "I don't think we're on the road anymore." The headlights appeared again. Closer this time. Too close. I swerved. The car fishtailed. The world spun. And suddenly we were parked. Engine off. Silence. Morning light filtering through the trees. We were at the entrance of Clinton Road, facing outward, like we'd just arrived. Mark refused to talk about it afterward. 2 weeks later, he moved out of state. He never answered my messages again. I tried to forget. But Clinton Road doesn't forget you. Years later, I went back alone one last time. Not to drive it, just to stand at the entrance. There was a memorial nailed to a tree. Photos, coins, notes. One of the photos stopped my heart. It was my car, on the bridge, headlights off, with someone standing beside it. Someone who looked exactly like me, facing the woods. And in the reflection of the windshield, 2 lights, watching. I don't drive at night anymore. And if you ever find yourself on a road that feels too quiet, too aware, don't throw the coin and don't look back. Because some roads don't lead anywhere. They just wait. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? I thought it was exhaustion. That was the lie I clung to for the first 3 seconds, until something kept pace with my truck at 70 miles an hour. I was deep into a long-haul run, eastbound, the kind of night where the road feels infinite and the sky presses down on you. No moon, no traffic, just the hum of the engine, and that familiar sense of isolation every trucker knows too well. I checked the mirrors out of habit, expecting nothing. That's when I saw movement. At first, it was only a blur at the edge of my headlights. I told myself it was heat distortion, fatigue, maybe a coyote running parallel to the rig. But the longer I watched, the more wrong it felt. The stride was too smooth, too deliberate. Whatever it wasn't struggling to keep up. It was matching me. I eased off the accelerator. It slowed with me. I sped up. It did too. That was the moment my stomach dropped. Animals don't do that. My hand found the CB radio without thinking. I hadn't used it in months, but old habits die hard. I keyed the mic, my voice coming out tighter than I wanted. Breaker 19. Anyone got a copy? Eastbound I-80. Static filled the cab. Thick, heavy static. I was about to let go when a voice cut through. Low, rough, worn thin by decades of cigarettes and desert air. "I got you, driver. What's going on?" I swallowed. "There's something running alongside my truck." The voice didn't laugh, didn't question me. "You see it clearly?" "Not really, just a shape." There was a pause. Then, very slowly, he said, "Listen close. Don't flash your lights. Don't honk. Don't acknowledge it. And whatever you do, don't stop." My heart started pounding. "What is it?" Another pause. Longer this time. "Doesn't matter. Just keep driving east. Don't pull over. Not even if you think you have to." The CB went dead. I checked the mirror again. The shape was still there, just outside the light, running effortlessly. Its legs were too long. Its body too upright. It didn't move like anything made of flesh. The air inside the cab felt colder. I tried to tell myself it wasn't real, but then my phone buzzed. No signal, full battery, 1 text, "Don't slow down." No number, no name. My foot pressed harder on the accelerator. The road stretched on, unchanged. No exits, no signs, just endless asphalt slicing through darkness. The thing stayed with me, never closer, never farther away. It didn't breathe hard, it didn't stumble, it just ran. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. Time felt loose, slippery. The temperature gauge suddenly spiked, jumping straight into the red. The engine began to whine. Instinct screamed at me to pull over. I reached for the brakes, and the old voice echoed faintly through the CB, layered under static. "Don't stop." My hands shook as I forced the pedal down. The engine protested, but it kept running. The shape outside turned its head toward me for the first time. I wish it hadn't. I didn't see a face, not really. Just the suggestion of one, like a shadow trying to remember what a human looked like. I snapped my eyes forward, breath coming fast and shallow. Then the radio crackled again. This time, it wasn't the old timer. It was something else. It said my name. Not over the speaker, not through the static. It felt like it came from inside my skull, spoken in a voice that didn't need sound. The speedometer climbed on its own. 80, 90. My foot wasn't moving. The truck felt guided, like I wasn't alone in the cab anymore. Up ahead, lights appeared. Warm, yellow, inviting. A curve in the road where none should be. Street lamps flickering like they were struggling to stay awake. Relief surged through me. Civilization, help, As I approached, the shape beside me stopped running. It stood at the edge of the headlights, tall and still, watching. My phone chimed again. One new voicemail, from my own number. I didn't want to listen. I did anyway. Static filled my ear, then a voice whispered, calm and disappointed. You should have kept driving. The road bent sharply, pulling me toward those lights. The engine surged again, ignoring my input. That's when I realized I wasn't heading east anymore. The rearview mirror filled with darkness, thicker than night. The shape was there again, no longer running. It was walking, slowly, closer. Along the roadside, more figures appeared. Not moving, just standing there, tall and wrong, watching me pass as if this was something they'd seen before. I screamed into the CB, begging anyone to answer. The static answered back with something that almost sounded like laughter. The whisper came again, closer now. You noticed us. The lights ahead flickered out one by one. I don't remember how long I drove after that. I don't remember when the road finally straightened, or when the figures disappeared. I only know that dawn eventually broke, pale and weak, and the shape beside me was gone. The truck rolled on like nothing had happened. I still drive. I have to, but I don't run nights anymore. And when the CB crackles without anyone touching it, I turn it off. Because some things don't want you to stop. They want you to keep going. And if you don't, they'll make sure you never reach the morning. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And tell us in the comments which part scared you the most, and drop your ideas in the comments. Your idea might be our next nightmare.